Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, this is part 2 by the way guys. As you can see, I have to do my title. My top 20 favourite British monarchs. Part 2, James II of England. So now I have done, see my video from yesterday where I talked about Richard III, who is king from 1483 until 1485 for 2 years. Now this king reigned for 3 years, James II. And a little tips and tricks to let you guys know. James is my 4th favorite British monarch. He's actually the second surviving son of Charles I of England, and his younger brother is Charles II. And I have to talk to you guys about the life of James II, how long he was king for, when he was born, when he died. I have to also explain the course of death he had when he died, but he died just in the start of the 18th century, so yeah. And we have to read through the information. It has to be very important because he was kicked off the throne in 1689 to convert to Catholicism. I have no clue to pronounce that, but yeah, let's go. James II of England. James II and 7th was born on the 14th of October, 1633, until the 16th of September, 1701. Was King of England and Ireland as James II and King of Scotland as James the Seventh. From the death of his elder brother, Charles II, on the 6th of February, 1685, he was deposed in the Glorious Revolution of 1688. He was the last Catholic monarch of England, Scotland, and Ireland. His reign is now remembered primarily for conflicts over religious tolerance, but it also involved struggles over the principles of absolutism and the divine right of kings. His deposition ended a century of political and civil self-try in England by confirming the primacy of the English Parliament over the crown. So this is James II and the 7th. Well, obviously he was King of Scotland, like his grandfather was, James I, who died in 1625, who was actually the father of Charles I. This portrait was painted by Peter Lely. Lely, I don't know how to say it, but yeah. He reigned from the 6th of February, 1685, after the death of his young elder brother, Charles II, until the 23rd of December, 1688. He only reigned for 3 years. His coronation was on the 23rd of April, 1685, so just a few months after Charles II's death. His predecessor was Charles II, and his successors were Mary II, his daughter, and his niece and son-in-law, William, Prince of Orange, who would be William III. He was born on the 14th of October, 1633, in St. James's Palace in Westminster, and he died on the 16th of September, 1701, aged 67, in Cahiers de Saint-Germain-en-Laye in France. This is like a place in France, by the way. He was buried in the Church of the England Benedictines in Paris. He had 2 wives. His first wife was Anne Hyde, who he married in 1660, but she died 11 years later in 1671. And his second wife was Mary of Modena, who he married in 1673, just 2 years after Anne Hyde's death. And these are all of his children: Charles, Duke of Cambridge; Mary II, Queen of England; James, Duke of Cambridge; Anne, Queen of Great Britain; Charles, Duke of Kendal; Edgar, Duke of Cambridge; James, Prince of Wales; Louisa Maria Stuart, and these are his illegitimate children: Henrietta Fitzjames, James Fitzjames I, Duke of Berwick; Henry Fitzjames; Catherine Sheffield, Duchess of Buckingham and Normanby. His house is Stuart. His father was Charles I of England, and his mother was Henrietta Maria of France, and that is his signature. Well, technically, James II did actually get kicked off the throne just 1 year later in 1689, before Mary and William both were joining monarchs. So William was king and Mary was queen. James succeeded to the thrones of England, Ireland, and Scotland following the death of his brother, with widespread support in all three countries, largely because the predictables of eligibility based on dying, right and birth were widely accepted. Tolerance of his personal Catholicism did not extended to tolerance of Catholicism in general, and the English and Scottish parliaments refused to pass his measures. When James attempted to impose them by decree, this was met with opposition. Some academics have however argued that it was a political predictable rather than a religious one, that ultimately led to his removal. In June 1688, two events turned dissent into a crisis. Firstly, the birth of James's son and their heir, James Francis Edward Stuart, on the 10th of June, raised the prospect of establishing a conflict dynasty and including his Angelina daughter, Mary, and her Protestant husband, William III, Prince of Orange, who was also his nephew from the line of succession. Secondly, the prosecution of the 7 bishops for scandalous libel was viewed as further evidence on an assault of the Church of England, and the Quantitor on the 30th of June destroyed his political authority in England. The ensuing anti-conflict riots in England and Scotland led to a general feeling that only James's removal from the throne could prevent a civil war. Leading members of the English political class invited William of Orange to assume the English throne. When William landed in Brixham on the 5th of November 1688, James's army deserted and he went into exile in France on the 23rd of December. In February 1689, a special convocation parliament held that James had vacated the English throne and installed William and Mary as joint monarchs, thereby establishing the predictable that sovereignty diverted from Parliament, not birth. James landed in Ireland on the 14th of March 1689 in an attempt to recover his kingdoms, but despite a simultaneous rising in Scotland, in April, a Scottish confederation followed that of England, both finding that James had forbidden the throne and offered it to William and Mary. After his death at the Battle of Bayonne in July 1690, James returned to France, where he spent the rest of his life in exile at Saint-Germain, protected by Louis XIV. While his contemporary opponents often portrayed him as an absolute tyrant, some historians beginning in the 20th century have praised James for advocating religious tolerance. Most recent scholarship have tended to take a middle ground between these views. And obviously, guys, I had to research James's life about him, and when it didn't give you information of when he died, so I'll explain. When he died in 1701 on the 16th of September at the age of 67, he died. He suffered a stroke like his older brother Charles II had. He had a very bad stroke, so he couldn't rule anymore. And after a year later, when his son-in-law, actually niece, William, Prince of Orange, died in 1702, falling off his horse. And then his second daughter, Queen Anne, became queen in the same year as William died in 1702, and to her death in 1714. She lost all of her 18 children, by the way. And we are concerned as to how does she get Hughes syndrome, which I have gave research about it, but I'm not going to do it in this video because I will separate it if I'm ever going to do part 3 will come out soon, but we need to find out how it causes Hughes syndrome. It's actually a really bad cause, so yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. Please help me reach 200 subs because I'm still at 172 because I like posting, yeah. So anyways, guys, part 3 will come out soon. I hope you guys do enjoy your day.